I tell you, man, this arc, this freaking arc, has been a roller coaster ride of feels the whole entire time, and I'm just like, it just really sinked in the reality of things that happen in the real world. That you don't need all these tragic, hardcore death or people dying tragic ways. All you really need is just that story to pull somebody in, and that's what this arc did. So let's talk about it. Okay, in this episode, Asuna's continuing to slowly figure out what's going on with Yuki in the game. Turns out they are dying children. They have symptoms and diseases that cannot be stopped, and they're dying slowly. However, thanks to the advanced world of technology, they have these symptoms that can ease their pain, and they can go inside the advanced world and play their games with each other. So even though to some people it's just a regular MMO, to them it was their life. Because the life outside sucked. They couldn't do anything. They were always in bed or some horrible symptom or coughing. But in that game world, they were able to move around and do things together. So in a way, that actually explains why they were trying so hard to beat that boss and get their names on that wall. Because they wanted to make any kind of impact. Even if impact was small, they wanted to make it. So that was very understandable. The question is how the hell Kirito found about this. I guess Kirito is just some information broker. He knows how to hack on computers and find out all this information. So he's good in intel. Good to know. So with Yuki's point, turns out she was diagnosed with AIDS and it wasn't working well. Even her mother and her sisters. So that's why she was looking up to Asuna as a sister. So that explains why she kept saying sister the whole entire time. Explains it, and she saw Asuna as that sister figure. So even though there are other tragic deaths that happened throughout this whole entire year in anime, this was the most realistic death. And even though it's the most realistic death, it was the one that really hit you. Because some of us actually had people that died because of these kind of horrible diseases and symptoms because there's no cure for it. Technology has come so far, and as does medicine and our skills and our knowledge. But even after all that, what else can you really do in the end but try to cure them with happiness, with comfort? Even if they don't want it, they need it. They set Yuki and the friends up to the game world so they can enjoy their final moments on Earth. And I say it was good, and I really do hope that we will have some type of technology like that someday in the future, because that'd be great, you know? A something that can ease people's pain and just not let them suffer, because I have some people I know myself that go through that. So as I was watching this episode, it made me start to actually think and stuff that what the relatives that I once knew that died from symptoms like this, and they didn't have this kind of technology to ease their pain. Some of them actually died kind of painfully and stuff, and just wishing that technology would be able to be more advanced, just like that. That would be great to do instead of all this other stuff we're trying to do right now. Other than that, she meets Yuki, confronts her, telling her that they'll always be friends. They're just chatting in the virtual world, and then at the end of the episode, Asuna said there's a way for her to go to school. Because one of Yuki's wishes is to go to school. Many of us take school for granted, like, oh yeah, school sucks, what are we doing here, it's lame stuff. People like them like to go to school, you know, to challenge themselves, to be all they can be, because they don't have much in life. So it makes us, we need to be grateful for what we have. So Asuna does have that idea, but the question is how she's going to do it. I bet she's going to do that program like Kirito does with Yui. That's right. Kirito does that program with Yui where Yui can be where they are at that bar and stuff. So Kirito might be the same thing with Yuki. Who knows? That's my guess. I can bet you that's what's going to happen. And that this episode was really well. There was no action or great animation, but that story and the plot, the things that was happening, it just really hit home right here. So I really kind of took this episode to home and stuff. And this episode, it was probably one of the most dramatic episodes that happened throughout this whole entire season, actually. It was very eye-opening, great character development. And we got to truly finally understand the full mysteries of Yuki and the gang Sleeping Knights. I guess that's why they were called the Sleeping Knights, because eventually it was in their dreams in a way. They were who they are in their dreams, and that's what it was. And this episode was amazing to me. It really hit me home. So I give this episode truly a 9.5 out of 10. It was excellent. I enjoyed it. So I can't wait to see what Asuna and Kirito has in plan for Yuki. But like I said, I do bet that they'll use Kirito's program that they use with Yui. I do bet you that. So for more SAO news, rants, and reviews, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share if you could. I'll be much obliged. This is Macaron Anime, signing out.